Hey everybody, hope you're having a good day. Rare one, but we're doing a Saturday stream. We're still playing Ace Attorney, so I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to speed things up. We are on the last story, Bridge to the Turnabout. And basically, I think I'll be doing each sort of the section parts as a single stream. So this is section 2. And we've got section 3, then section 4, and that's us done. But for this one, let's recap. We had started Bridge to the Turnabout. We saw a picture of somebody who looked like Dahlia Heartborn. So you arrived, and this person claims that they are not Dahlia, or that we have never seen them before. And then there was a murder on Elise Stilism. Phoenix tried attempted to save Maya off a burning fridge, fell into a rushing river, and then Edgeworth came back from his trip overseas and took over the mantle for Phoenix Wright for a little bit. So we are at the current point playing as Miles Edgeworth, not Phoenix Wright, because Wright is still out for a little while. Let us get to the second trial, or portion. February 9th, 9:47 a.m. The court defendant lobby number 1. Oh my, Mr. Lawrence feels that way about me? Apparently, he's not aware of your real secret after at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. We're not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Lawrence is the witness today? No. I bet that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very incident in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dillexum, correct? That's... yeah, I think all the dialogue's the same. Oh, and then we got some new ones, actually. We got these new ones. So, Pearl Faye, age 9, Maya's cousin, was apparently the victim at the time of the crime, currently missing. Maya Faye went to the temple for spiritual training and is now trapped there. Got out the prosecutor for this case. He apparently has some sort of grudge against Wright. And I'm sure her back really bothers her. Victim of the offer book, Adonijah, Larry's teacher. The defendant, none of Hazakura Temple, doesn't seem to have any spirit powers. Larry Butts, my friend since grade school. I don't remember how we became friends, though. That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed, don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris. It is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people. And to believe until the better end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. February 9th, 10 a.m. to the court, corporate number 7. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecutor in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure if I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. seems this case is already over before I had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. The court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Francisca con karma, everybody! The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Francisca von Karma, prosecutor apology. Von Karma, you say? Perchance would be any... Yeah, you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma. That is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, yeah, that's used to the defense. The attorney badge on his lapel. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man amongst those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't? I'm sure once before... I told you, there is no such weakling. What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip. Hold it. I have no objections to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. How does he know? But there's still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promise will be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix right here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you, slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Let me to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Oh yeah, this is his like first proper time. The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss von Karma. Please keep the outline of this case with as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Lee Silixum. Her body was found in the Harsakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. This court snaps this photo of this crime scene. Carried is not to the courtyard. Photo in which Elise Silixum was murdered. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there was a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on there! I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up and please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there was a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain the plague witness. So, oh yeah, right, all those from like... They never got rid of that? Bailiff! That's a crypt for this poor lady, please. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple in Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini! Nice to meet everyone! But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is a garden of holy judgment! Those with lottery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. In any case, this, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can so hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? The night of the murder. That night I was helping an acolyte with retreating in a temple, but... well, as you can see, my back likes to eat up. Finally, it's reading. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the end of the temple, you see. I need a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. So it was a simple coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall the first hurdle, are you now, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. And of course, on the DS version, this will show Edgeworth and Calmer kind of like sliding at the bottom of the floor, the second screen. Alright.
Hold it!
Okay. What is this inner temple? Okay. Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? You'll be the ones asking you the question, madame. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. Okay. And how exactly do you help in this process? It's all quite... it is all quite a thing. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor, watching the make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip, in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple, where the murder took place?
Hold it!
Violently? Okay, that's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of the murder, with this fabulous back of yours hurting again. That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. I was fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off.
Hold it!
You left Iris to help? With what? Well, what do you think? I'm sorry, what do you think? The Acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so I was starting to enter into the training exercise proper. Now we were starting to enter the training exercise proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simple, to watch over the Acolytes so they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She never once failed to follow my directions.
Hold it!
So you returned to the Hazakura temple in order to take a bath? My back is to blame for everything. It's a do or be done in kind of world after all. How long were you in the bath for? If you don't mind me asking. My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly to wash? This is why you have to watch the young ones. What do you go? Your arms are pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. Is there some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense bench? I don't know, you ask me. You seem to be on the other side of that. That's so much. Anyway, I couldn't afford to be poor. I couldn't afford to be away from my post. From my post for too long, you understand? So,
Hold it!
okay. The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime take place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. I can clearly point out what it is, and I can begin to quantify just how good this witness' memory and observation skills are. Or just how... Alright.
Objection!
Okay. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. Oops. The defendant's fate rests on their power of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of the Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I would like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple after all. No! She said that. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back?
Objection!
But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Believing that she went to the inner temple will make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Urgh! All people lie! That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means, we must call your memory into question. Dear. You're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, do you? Oh, well, that isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then, I suppose it's early to... Sorry, it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. I have a feeling. And please add your comment about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. That night I was helping an alkaline tree in the temple, but... as you can see, my back a fan. I just came to the inner temple. She was dressed? Oh.
Hold it!
Are you sure that you're not making a mistake? You, young man, need to get your estimates of me up. Get your estimation of me up from the floor. Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're not making a mistake. Sorry, you're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake. An excellent phaser, witness. Still, I have to wonder. So, we have something here.
Objection!
Was given the right. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant who you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course! That is a very important piece of clothing I have, you know. Wahahahaha. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I have to know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness has seen the defendant as she claims, then the Irish she saw should have been missing this very hood. Whoa! Oh, it's not a bad feeling at all. Exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order of the court! The shooter says, Waha! Sister! Miss Hood, you have a spur one around the temple, don't you? Spurs? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of foods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that ours owned. Then this is quite strange. If there was a surplus of foods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human's heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath, on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are spreading in the judge's heart. Sorry. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Or stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory simulation. Have to move off. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the end temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was, oh, Mystic Elise! And with that sword of all things, Miss Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? I was in your place. Then it'd be much like Mr. Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in Toon Court. I mean, seeing over in the spirit chair. Why does everyone have to use that? The analogy of the courtroom. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this kiss is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full names. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Alright.
Hold it!
How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think for a moment. About 20 minutes. On these stumps of mine, it's about 15 minutes of dusty bridge from Hasakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. So, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway towards the main hall. Alright. Did you said you heard a noise? Well, like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Boom! Just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Ho 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 ho! Ah! And next one alive gets a whipping. Well, whenever the sorts to the side, I looked over to the courtyard. At the courtyard, I'm sorry.
Hold it!
This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it is you saw. Sorry, who was you saw. As clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now as you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood! Her hood? That's right, it's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Ha! You dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is his testimony important? This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any releases at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Miles Ashworth, if you want to hang yourself, you can only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem.
Hold it!
You are sure about that? Yes. After all, we always wear the same clothes. Ah, I don't mean because we're poor, you understand? It's our style. Yes, that's it. There's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, you look different from normal. So that really stuck out. Like me holding a whip-hat puppy instead of my whip. At least Santa might bite you, not someone else. I was gonna have her hurt on. I'm sure of it. Very well. Now, please tell us about the victim, eh?
Hold it!
The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Means the victim's room was on the second floor. No. Hazakar Temple is a single-story building. But the mountain south slopes downwards. This elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest room in the back. To about the height of a two-story building. I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room after all.
Hold it!
What makes you so sure of all this? It's like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Bump. Just like that. You're one smart sister. I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then. Yep, I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith after all, the head honcho of Hazakar Temple. There's only two of them watching there. What's wrong, Mount Antwerp? No snapping comeback or more? It doesn't feel like she's lying. This is very powerful testimony too. She claims to have seen the incident in which the defendant stopped the victim. There are only two things I can believe in right now. My client Iris, and my own ability as an defense attorney. Alright.
Objection!
Well. Okay. Because it appears I get to just being on this side of the courtroom.
Objection!
Okay. That was clearly reveals contradictions that was not statement, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't accept that. Well done, Your Honor. What? I was only testing you just now. Well, then why don't we try testing this penalty too? Looks like I shouldn't have spoken in haste. Nope. Is it a professor? It does? Has it? Oh, okay.
Hold it!
This is the second time that the witness has had to see the defense. What? Some type of... Oh, okay. Está bien.
Objection!
Damn it! I want the points back. I was just gonna shout down so I didn't try it.
Objection!
Impressive logic. That's what I like to say. That's what I like to say. Anyway. Oh, please do! My brain is something else! Especially in winter. However, I think you're overlooking one thing. Miss Funkara, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah, that's right! It says after death right here. The scene the witness claimed to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Ah! Order! Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right! The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And then she was thrown out the window into the courtyard below.
Objection!
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Deluxe's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Ah! No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. The whip has just caused traces of blood to be found in my glorious pale beard. However, there was no blood in the room, then your claim is art. I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood, very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed. With the weapon still in place, it acts as a lid to the wound on the wound. That's true. The weapon's still in the body. There wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to the conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Order, order, order! I must admit that this is a probable version of offense. I expect no less from Francisca von Karma. She located and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clear testimony from the witness. Remove all suppositions on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please! Remain standing on the crit. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip? Oh boy. Alright, alright. Further details. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Miss Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? When I woke, Missing Army was stabbing Miss Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strives for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Even I hope you're having a good day. Oh, I hope you had a good day. Perfection is an impossibility, Francisca Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you that. Oh yeah, there's a lot for you to take in at this point, isn't there? Why we're Edgeworth, why he's a defense attorney, why Francesca's back. Oh yeah, that's right.
Hold it!
At that time, was the victim bleeding? I mean, this is the finale, so we might as well bring some people back. Well, I was sure shocked to be seeing this, of course. But I'm not entirely sure. And I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure that you didn't. Ah! What's the deck then? The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed?
Hold it!
Think carefully, this is very important. It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. Nope. Now, when I look over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. I would say. No. I said, not this not tomorrow. Might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. Leon. Oh, right, yeah, you were talking about... Oh, yeah, and you showed me that. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth.
Hold it!
You're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it had splattered on the iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Those were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? I'll say, going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. Now, you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed. I saw the girl pull the sword out of her. Clean as day. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It's more like it came out. This! You want this even to your testimony. So how far has that come along? Oh, was it that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out.
Hold it!
Smoothly, you say? You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out? That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Army. Mystic Elise was on the ground, and Iris swept over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from the gaping wound. Ah! Goes without saying, if the sword was removed, that would be bleeding. There would be bleeding. Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appeared to happen. When the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword. No mistaking it! I remember it clear as day! Don't you think that's a bit odd? What do you mean? Wait a minute. Oh, where's the car? Where cars? Isn't it? So, I'm going to take what I can. Okay, best luck on that day. What do you mean, Miles Ashworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? What? If all you wanted to do was place the weapon in the hand of the gold statue, then there would be no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished is causing the victim to bleed unnecessary. Sorry. Your thoughts, Miss Von Karma? That's... Indeed. It is strange, now that you mention it. I'm going to need to find an answer to this mystery, too. Anyway, the witness saw something terrible. So what did you do after that, witness?
Hold it!
Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct? Well, I was unconscious. How long were you out for? I don't know, 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with a very prickly looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually. I'm not sure I like that method of resuscitation. Well, I wasn't asking for mouth-to-mouth or anything of that sort. But I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about that. Let me tell you. I shall have words with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening?
Hold it!
By Mystic Army, are you you're referring to the golden statue, correct? Just stopping someone with the chassis total a sacred treasure is terrible enough. But to then make Miss Ame hold the blade? Truly a heinous, despicable crime. It's easy to despise something. Anyone can do that. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, what is the problem? Exactly what... Why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that? Nope, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true, so true. In the spring, for example, I often find myself... There isn't always... That phrase might come in handy someday. There's too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the chassis toad from the army statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed in the hand, back in the hand of the statue? I can expose the flaws in his testimony. Perhaps then I will begin to find the truth. Oh, Francesca's not the only one who came back, by the way. Because like I said, you probably missed a few things. Think. It was staring me in the face. I had to look at it and like, wait, let's try the sword. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least, I like to think so. But there are so many contradictions here. But what do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the held into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. Oh, right, yeah. There's only blood at the end of the blade, not... That's it. It's not like up to the hilt. Where the killer withdrew the smoothly from the body. However, both of these are completely impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain it, or explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stop someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Objection! Doesn't appear? What meaningless drivel? I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, so should I choose so? Yeah, Whip will do that to people. The objection stands! I weep a little back there, I must admit. Objection! That isn't the only issue here. If the sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the bruises on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. That's... We almost had the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. Objection! That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with a Shashitoto. Sorry. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. Objection! I'm not finished. there is still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple. If this store really was thrust all the way up to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Ah! If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood about along the entire length of the sword. No! Order, order, order! Ah! Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if not. But what does this all mean? You have proven contradiction regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is, the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shashi Chateau. What? A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolish, wholeheartedly foolish fool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 of those. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 6. There's 6 fools in this one. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think that this sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mystic Amin was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that Sashi Chuto was the murder weapon. Order, order, order! Ah! So maybe the Sashi Chuto was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. His sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution could enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's the answer to the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. Trout with a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, can I say something? I just remember something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was supposed to of. You what? Well then. Okay. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible! What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Location of the weapon. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks! tracks that indicate the snowmobile have been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk the Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back when it was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of ships. Oh, way back at my age, you know. Right. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura's temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Hey, tracks. Track photos. Taking the night from the main gate to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Sir Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Alright. And after this one, we move to the second half of the cross-examination. Or testimony. You sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it, after all. Why is that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this year time. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night. Now, can I? Could I? Look. So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister. You asked Beans Right to report the crime, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. It seems she's the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent it to the bridge. Beanish Right. He didn't even have a cell phone on him? He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy. As always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my weapon in hand too. Anyway, I was really scared. And it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell.
Hold it.
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it! That's the only one we have! It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course! It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Listen, I need answers to every possible doubt. Snowmobile in question. Was it still warm at that time? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, that means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. And answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason, only a snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it? Curse it! It seems highly likely that the killer did use a snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get the Dusky Bridge by snowmobile?
Hold it!
In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree on my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch! Crunch! I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it.
Hold it!
Refresh your memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. 20 minutes, sorry. It's possible to get to the liberation back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth?
Hold it!
While it would have been possible time-wise, one element remains out of place here. Oh, and that would be this mysterious... what would this mysterious element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. The response, Miss McCarma? Ah! Turning to me for help over the slightest things? Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? Jesus, over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed to the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there was surely a possible problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Okay. Oh. I'm gonna try something crazy.
Objection!
That was not it. That was not it.
Objection!
Nope. Okay, gotta think this one out. Let's try them up. Nope. Okay. Okay, we're gonna reload. Okay, maybe. Might need 10 to approximately 11. Okay. Let's see. 6:50 minutes.
Objection!
Nope. Yeah. Okay. Walk it back, think about it. Ours could. Maybe they should have. Let's think about. I'm just thinking about this one for a second.
Objection!
Let's try.
Objection!
Nope. Wait, there's footprints! It looks to me snow people's only going one way. I think I get it.
Objection!
Well, we'll grab our points back. I don't want to lose those points.
Objection!
Alright. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris led the Hazakura temple and threw the weapon into the river and then returned? If that were the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those heading out from the bridge and those coming back. Ah! You're right! You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were raised by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. Okay. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Okay. Is there a flaw in our test theory? this idea of the snowball. This is where I was thinking. I was getting on. This is a snow with occasional lightning strike. Okay. Here's a contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered in snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so Miss Von Karma claims. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered in snow.
Take that!
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? Oh, best luck on using it then. On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m. It stopped at around 10:50. Best luck on that deck run. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Wah! It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Too many snow-related warnings here. Miles Edgeworth, hypothetical of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is the weather report ever correct? You know, actually... Oh, no worries. Now that she... Okay, now that I can't remember, when is the weather actually out? Right. Ah, no. You got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Well, that changes everything. Forecast data. All weather reports have some inaccuracy. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true. We cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. We need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far. No turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? So, this crime photo. They're still prints. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If you want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo should tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself. Mr. Lake still looks him. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed. That's why. Grr. In other words, the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon. Then in this photograph, there should be 2 sets of tracks. Ah! Order! Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remain. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we knew that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Thank you. Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on when on the Hazakura side when the bridge of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe. But when I made back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that isn't possible! Order in the court! What does this all mean? Yeah. So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I've nothing more to add. I told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there were someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. Witness, huh? Was there no one out walking, perhaps Dusky Bridge, on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. It may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind, which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder, and the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? When something smells, it's usually the butts. This guy might be a product of Gene Lucker's Guide to Obnoxious French Feelings. Wow, that is a blatant attack on Larry, but sure. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Deluxum. Her student? Interesting. And why is he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him, right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately! I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday. Today I'm going to get everything out of you. This corporal and I adjourn for a 20-minute recess break. Miss Von Karma, please see the preparations to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Now we're on the second part. Okay. February 9th, 1:15 a.m. District Court Defense Lobby number 1. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claimed to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There is only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. More Cyclops. Iris. I can't tell you about that yet. Not until her safety is confirmed. Her? The safety of the Acolyte. Acolyte, huh? Yep. She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Deluxem? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. As I thought, no psycholocks. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discuss this for yourself. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. February 9, 11:36 a.m. District Court, Corporate number 7. Court will now reconvene. Miss Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? Feature a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic fist and a vicious whip. I think we know what he was drawing. And I think it was a good... And I think it would have been hilarious if we saw the painting. I can only presume that it was... Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Lawrence Stolixon, I hope you're ready. Get in here. It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. That was fast. Hey! I was just artistically... Ow! You're trying to turn away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look! I'm nothing but a fleeting artist! Training out in the mountains! I'm only down here in the city because I ran a green print. Well, to use the technical term for the color, Viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume you want to say field work. I hope. That's it! Thanks, buddy! It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mingled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see? I've got nothing to do with this trial at all! I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this was it. Right, red. Or, to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Oh, ouch! Oh, no, don't! Ouch! Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man! When did the judge get a whip? He did nothing wrong in this time. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, this is all your fault! Testify, no! Wow, this is too much for me. What I saw. I was at a lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now, aren't I, Angie? Witness! Please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody. Nothing but a small worthless man, aren't I? Why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. Yes, he has. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right! I'm behind everything! Every kiss! Watch out, okay? Touch me and... just touch me will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching. Thank you. Yep. We can delve into other details at a later time. Alright, so once we finish up with Larry, that'll be the end of the trial, which means we'll be talking after the Larry stuff here. Whatever is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? This one single statement is full of contradictions. So full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness? Any ideas as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my whip. Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That rundown shack is hardly a lounge, isn't it? Is it? And even the stars could be seen. It isn't like I was starting to look at them, right? That's the face of a man who is very pissed at the very moment. See? You can do it if you try. Ouch! There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge.
Hold it!
A number of times? How many? Maybe 5 times? I went once every 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes. Which means... you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night. You bet. Real love is by waiting your heart in your hands. Well, if you say, oh, waiting with your heart in your hands, sorry. It was this man's intent to summon the defendant to the small shack. You've seen this blackmail letter. But blackmail? No, that was simply a product of puffy, lousy excuse for a whimpering whining wuss of a witness. It says it, but it seems to work here. So, what did you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You puffy, the lousy the excuse for whimpering, whining witness, eh? Well, you see, being called those names don't seem to bother him at all.
Hold it!
Sorry, but has to sit in there. Did you meet anyone? That's right. Yep. Because I've got nothing to do with this. And I'm just here to buy some for the impiant, okay? Come on, I expect to see those Crimson Lake faces. 9. If it appeared that simply praising him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth, Indeed. It seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along.
Hold it!
Larry? You really didn't see it? Hey! No need to hit your desk! I can hear you! I didn't see it! I didn't see a snowmobile! Larry? Say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile! If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest? Shut up! What is this? I don't know. Don't ask me. It seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm going to strike a blow that will finally get him to spill the beans. So, he did see somebody that night. Just for anyone who hasn't seen. He saw Phoenix Wright. Larry Butts? I can understand why you want... I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic. And you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Angie, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incident you create. What? You're totally pinning this on me? Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts! That's right, me, in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. What? What do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night. Testify truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you. Edgy? I think I finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? Well, I saw part 2! I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was laying under my bed when a white flash almost blinded me. When I looked at the window, and Dusky Bridge was on fire! There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran the nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint in chasing a girl. It totally burned out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. You know what's actually a good point? You never know if he's lucky or unlucky. like, obvious. I'm putting in obvious spoilers, like, for Apollo and stuff. The dude gets hit by a car, launched 20 feet across, like 20 feet forwards into a lamppost, I think, and just walked it off. I think. And then just the court case he gets thrown into, like, how is that man still survive? Live through all this. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination.
Hold it!
Okay, what did you do out there in the cold for about half an hour? Hey, well, if you must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Okay, excited. Did I even ask? I set the meeting time at 10 p.m., right? That's 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait. I thought she might come earlier, too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all, in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge. I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. No, I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. Oh, sorry, this Fiend Train was just hit by collar and then Hall's Life was just a sprained ankle. I was like, I thought it was worse.
Hold it!
This light was, of course, lightning! Like, kapow! Like a slap from Naomi. Honestly, a big bada boom! Or a little like that. That's more like a punch from Miranda. Goodness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, I was a bit startled by a flash of light, so...
Hold it!
Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge? Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it. I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know. I changed my mind. I'm not sure I care for this, for the forget it attitude you had at first witness.
Hold it!
Okay, you said right away. But exactly how long after the strike was that? Okay. The lightning fell, and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes. I mean, I suddenly thought, I gotta go check this out. How far is the small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on. Well, it pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk. And how did Dusty Bridge look when you got there? Like I have recovered a piece from my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfire kids make from the school camping chips can compare. Well, should I press him for a little more info? Why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with that serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a tower inferno, one would try to tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Yeah, okay. My reason. Isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone. I just didn't have the time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
Hold it!
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright? Yeah! I thought I better tell someone about this. But then Nick showed up yelling about murder! It totally made me forget about the bridge! The fire was pretty much out by then. Anyway. What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease. It was after contacting with the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less. You told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. Yeah, oh, you effed up, Larry. Because after around 30 minutes passed between the fire going out.
Objection!
You effed up, Larry. Your very assistance being a contradiction, I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some kind of alien. But your testimony is conclusive contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible of those. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusty Bridge and immediately went to see what happened. Is this correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You said it takes less than 5 minutes from the Jack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there around 11 p.m. That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred at Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there, in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Ah, excuse me. I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Lawrence Storm. Ah! It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. His sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there is still no way that Wright could have been at the Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather report data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means... what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m. The Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by a toilet splashback. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Pitch me. Order, 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 order! So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes. And there is a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? Yes, witness. Why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even the bridge had burned out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. Ah, but this is Larry we're talking about. And even he isn't capable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy? I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time. Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say this. Then say it! Very well. I have a terrible foul feeling about this. However, let's have this witness finally give us the whole truth. 9. For this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? Missing 15 minutes! I am Deluxum. I am an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching! In front of the bridge! I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out and he came running up. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right! I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch! Including the truth, from the sounds of it. Mr. Edgeworth? Has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story. Especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy. Well, now we're doing the Cyclock in court.
Hold it!
Alright. Hello, Larry. My name is Lawrence. Get it right. Mistakes like that are what keeps you from being popular with the ladies like I am. Alright. Just who exactly are you? I'm Lawrence Deluxe, apprentice extraordinary. That's what he calls himself in any case. And you are an artist? Of course, I'm an artist, the real thing. Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There is only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing? That's the very big issue. That is a very big issue indeed.
Hold it!
Sketching? The burning bridge? The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. The sketch of mine is... Enough! Just check that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you thinking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant the sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. Let's look at it. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, well. Even I couldn't have imagined it turned out like this. Imagine one. That Lawrence Stullockson's debut would take place here, today, like this. Ouch, 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 ouch. Show it now! Okay, but steel yourself. This is the world of Lawrence Stullockson. Ah! Well. So this is Dusky Bridge, correct? What a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Hong Karma. Yes. Well, it's a better drawing than I expected. See, isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. I think Francesca's having terrible flashbacks to a certain kiss. Here, this is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up. It seems this mysterious flying object. Larry? What? The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate looking figure? Ah, you spotted that. And what you might? However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course! Iris! I wish she'd take better care of herself. You have to plan for her future, you know? What would have happened to her if she had ended herself flying like that? Larry, please answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming you have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over the bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist. Are you high? That girl, she's really high up in this picture. What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please put your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some presence for that. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. That was really something to see. This is this has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. Let's get back to the cross-examination. By force, if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose his contradictions here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Oh, what do you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Larry sketches out of the go record. Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. That's definitely Ashworth's fault. I hurry up and cross-examine him.
Hold it!
The reason that you were so excited be... What do you think? My girlfriend was flying through the sky. Oh, okay. Almost 30 feet above the ground, above the bridge. I felt like I might start flying myself. If only you'd be so kind as to fly out of all of our lives. Anyway, I completely lost myself when I was drawing the scene.
Hold it!
Hold on. Just where did you see that sight from? Hey, no need to shout. When I was lying in bed in that rundown shack, the crack of the lightning bolt made me realize that the bridge was burning. I watched it from a while down from there, thinking how nicely it was burning. And after about 5 minutes, I saw it. The defendant flying. That's right. That's when I decided to go to the bridge. I see. That all makes sense. Aside from the sketch itself... Yes, the sketch doesn't make any sense. I need to convince the artist that his work is ludicrous.
Hold it!
You transferred everything directly onto the page? And that is the sketch here? Yep, sensational, isn't it? Or should it be scandalous? It puts my mind at ease anyway. It did? That's right! The reason she didn't come to me, even though I waited for her, was because she was trapped on the other side of the bridge. Could it be that Iris undertook that dangerous, desperate flight in order to reach me? That's gotta be it, alright? Go with me! Nice ouch! Continue, please.
Hold it!
You forgot the passage of time to that extent, did you? Well, once I get caught up in something, I tend to forget everything else. That's true. It's always been that way. I guess he's not lying about that, at least. Phoenix Wright appears on the scene after 11:15. If he was drawing until then, that dispels all doubts. Aside from doubts of his humanity, eh? There is a big clue waiting for me in this cross-examination. His testimony does nothing less than mock the court. I am sure that there is a vital kernel of truth hidden in there somewhere. Here's the hood.
Objection!
Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position? That's just being irresponsible. I just exactly what I saw. I give you a whole dollar for that. It's the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What that might that be? That the person who flew over this bridge could not have been the defendant Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. Ah! A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolish, foolhardy fool. 1, 2, 3. Or 6 there again. Robots. Now, how exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual who you say you saw was wearing the hood, correct? Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite a ways from the bridge. Who is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris? The Hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling Hood. Wah! It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you'll understand what I mean just fine. Fine! Why did Nick have Iris' hood? What? Eddie! What's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you? Nick! You dog! I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into the garbage. Ha. Ah! What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today is the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Lawrence Deluxum, shall prove it! I didn't expect to ask this again, but shall we be needing your testimony once again? We shall be needing your testimony once again, sorry. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as suspected in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me. Proof that Iris flew. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to find a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal spear that night. Oh, I already see the contradiction in this one. A crystal spear? This one! Pretty, isn't it? The finders keepers. That spear. Where did you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere. Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. This court accepts this crystal spear. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterwards. There's something on it. Oh my! It's blood! What? Blood? Crystal spear. Found half covered in snow near Dusty Bridge the night of the crime. Has blood on it. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Lawrence Deluxum only a few minutes ago?
Hold it!
Okay. Okay, so you went to the burning bridge? Okay, that's right, to meet Iris. She actually flew to get to me. At least I could do is meet her halfway. Yep. But the defendant was not at the bridge when you got there, you say. I guess she went back to Hasakura Temple. She's a girl after all. She must have wanted to look her best. It must be lonely to live in the fantasy land of Larry's mind. Actually, it's so depressing that I can't even work up the energy to the point. So, what should you do next?
Hold it!
So you searched all over for her. She was flying pretty high, you know. I thought maybe she slipped up on her landing and got hurt. Hey, it was more than possible. Also, when I headed out to the shack the first time, I was snacking on a banana. I was pretty sure I flew through the peel away somewhere around there, so, you know. Can one guy really be this stupid? So, did you find any signs of her so-called landing? I don't really remember. I kept falling over myself. I'm kind of lost for a while there. You fell over yourself? Yeah, the snow was steep and there were even a banana peel out there. Yep, that's stupid. There's stupid, and then there's Larry Butts. Yeah. The short of it is that you didn't find any signs of her landing, correct? Then what happened next?
Hold it!
Half buried. It was sitting in the snow. With a little glinter of top. There's a little gallery on top of it. It was very hard to spot actually. I mean, it was dark out too. I'm impressed. You did well to find it. No matter what you may think when you look at me, I'm a pro. A genius security guard. He got fired from that too, didn't he? I used a pen light I borrowed from my company to help in my search. And it sparkled really brightly. As it was saying, "Here I am" to me. It does indeed look very much like the crystal sphere on our suit. But need I remind you that she was not wearing her hood at that night.
Hold it!
Each nun is assigned their own hood. And they are assigned only one. I don't know anything about that, okay? And ours is special, alright, dude? Even if she did steal a spare hood, I'll forgive her. This is getting us nowhere. Our destination for the day, it seems. However, this crystal spear was found near the bridge. That is a fact. It didn't come from a hood. Where could it have come from? That is the question I aim to answer.
Hold it!
Let me confirm this one more last time, Larry. The reason you thought that this was Iris are the hood and this crystal spear, correct? That's right, my gut is never wrong. I met that OP Keen the next morning, and her crystal spear was still there, safe and sound. Indeed. He was wearing it this morning in this very room, earlier today. This case isn't going to end with a fight. Exposing the obvious contradiction in his testimonies will be easy. Fear that all awaits us are further mysteries. I said this one felt more easier. Where is it? Yep.
Objection!
Larry? That night, there was someone. Someone who lost a crystal spear. There was? Hey! Who was this stupid idiot? Miss Elise Sillickson, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal spear. Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! Ouch! A crystal spear like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like that on my brooch. They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime. Aha! The crystal spear! It's gone! What? 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 Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris, after all. She was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal spear found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew and dropped the spear was the victim, Miss Elise Deluxem. A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. Only for this time. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly. Thus, it is rejected. You can't do that. I saw it with my own. Yeah. And this crystal spear. This is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought. I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elix Deluxem was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this spear cannot be related to this kiss. That is all. Miss Francisca von Karma. Yep. I mean, sure thing. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? He is a scatterbrain and our only clone is somewhere. The victim's crystal spear was found near a bridge on the night of her murder. Did you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case? That crystal spear, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There is blood on this crystal spear, isn't there? This naturally... Only once. This is the only time we get to draw that thing. Alright. This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there and to throw the investigation off the scene, sorry. Which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? Oh, hey! All jokes aside. Oh. Just when did this crystal spear appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is relevant to the case. He makes a valid point. There's no evidence that Elise Deluxem left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal spear can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal spear. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal spear was dropped before the murder took place? You can't. Can I prove it? That isn't it. Because let's look at the crime scene photo. Wait. Actually, yeah. No. Oh, the hood. This is simply prove it. That's the only option. That's what he'll do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal spear is the vital link to solving this case. Let's see it. I'm gonna be on the safe side. You will do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. And that should come as no surprise. Because right now, I am Phoenix Wright. And I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal spear was indeed dropped before the murder. Let's just print since the puns. This crystal spear was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal spear was dropped, it was snowing. Even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the crime, like the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there was no snow on the victim's body. Ah! Therefore, the crystal spear must have been dropped before the murder. What? What? Order, order, order! On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff crystal spear to come loose. What? What could that have been? This spear. There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise the curtain. Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. The murder didn't take place in Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish place of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? Which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything! She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard! That's not exactly true, Knight, is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't! You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost. At the moment of the blade's insertion, if you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is true, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
Objection!
You are forgetting one final thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least the Ultimate body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it would take 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of events is also perfectly plausible. Now that the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method of which the victim's body was carried to the Hazakura temple. Well, there's only one thing I can think of. On that snowy night, there is one way that the body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. Those are cracks in that on the wall there. If it was it was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. Order, order, order! Grr! This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the family in your coffin? You're too late, Francisca von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim? At least it looks really killed. If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you ever need to think about that? So do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he has unarmed. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm to this point. Edgy, thank you. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Francisca von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning, and I wouldn't have been fine with you now. Miles Edgeworth, I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame. This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are a front to... Ouch, 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 ouch. I demand satisfaction. Good night, Larry. I cannot believe that the witness testimony relates to an actual offense. However, there has to be some sort of answer to the questions raised. Yeah, although he did kind of deserve it this time. About 5% of it. 20 tops. Has his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we'll gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that should be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, right? Court is now adjourned. And that's all we have for Edgeworth's role in this, essentially. And that'll be it for this one. We will wrap up here. Next time we're back as Wright. So that'll be Monday, no doubt. And so it'll be more investigations with Phoenix. And yeah, that'll be it for this time. So Monday will be the investigation on this, and then Wednesday will be us ending it on. It's gonna be a ride in the last one. I'll say that. Trust me, or not, depending on what you think. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Hope you have a good day and it's a great week. The rest of the weekend as well. So I'll see you next time. Bye.